What do flamingos in East Africa have in common with humans? Well, more than you might think at first. We both have similar needs for our well-being, for example, fresh water and clean food, and we are sensitive to similar environmental problems, for example, drought, famine, and pollution. So why should we pay attention when our pink brethren suffer mass die-offs? Well, beyond their intrinsic value as co-inhabitants of our planet, because selfishly, their deaths are telling us something important about potential threats to other species around the globe, including, well, we humans. My name is Chris Johnson. I'm a graduate student at UCLA, and I study pink death, the causes and consequences of flamingo die-offs. Lesser flamingos live in some of the harshest places on the planet, such as the thermally active Lake Bogoria. In fact, flamingos only live in extremely salty lakes, salty enough to kill most other organisms. Yet flamingos and humans do not live far apart. Lake Nakuru, the most important lake for flamingos in East Africa, is directly adjacent to Nakuru town, Kenya's fourth largest city, and the city's sewage drains directly into the lake. Within the last 20 years, around a dozen flamingo mass die-offs have been reported at Lake Nakuru. The diagnosis? Poisoned. And the culprit was there the whole time, unseen and forgotten, directly below the water. Killer algae. Sounds like a cheesy 80s B movie, but certain types of algae within the lake can produce biological toxins. Now, under normal healthy lake conditions, these toxic species are very rare, but under certain conditions they can grow quickly and turn the lake into toxic soup. But why should we care about algae growing in isolated salty lakes halfway around the world? I've got at least 82 million reasons why. That's a conservative estimate for the economic cost of toxic algae blooms per year in the United States alone. These blooms are similar to those that poison flamingos, but on a massive scale, such as this bloom off the coast of San Diego in 2010. And the victims can be humans, if we consume animals that ingested the toxic algae. While algae blooms occur naturally, scientists predict that harmful algae blooms are becoming more frequent and larger due to human impacts such as pollution. So what do flamingos have to do with all this? They are a great organism for studying the consequences of harmful algal blooms because they consume a single species of non-toxic algae that are plentiful in healthy lakes. Flamingos filter the lake water for algae, and in unhealthy lakes such as Lake Nakuru, they incidentally ingest toxic cyanobacteria and are poisoned. Furthermore, the unhealthy conditions that lead to toxic algae blooms and the associated flamingo die-offs are believed to be driven by human impacts, such as pollution. These same problems are happening around the world. I study how humans are impacting the algae species in these lakes to determine the causes of toxic algae blooms and their consequences for flamingos. The goal is to ensure healthy lakes for flamingos and learn what these amazing birds have to tell us about the health risks we share from human-driven harmful algal blooms.